Let's bring in Hollywood divorce attorney David Glass for more on this. David?
People going through divorces are going through some of the hardest times of their lives, and a lot of what they're going through is emotional. And in any divorce, there's a huge sense of loss, and loss of relationship, of money, some friends.
Hi, I'm David Glass, host of the HourGLASS Podcast. If you've been watching Season 6's People in the Know series, you're already aware that we've been exploring the impact of TV and film on the psyche of a person going through a breakup, much like what we did with music in Season 5. Today, we have a major expert in film, cinematographer Julio Macat, who is going to tell us what it's like to manage the cameras that capture the stories of many of the films we have come to love. Though most directors of photography don't get the credit they deserve for making a filmmaker's vision of a project come to life, it's experts like Julio who know how to do just that. How he frames the shot, how he aims the camera, how he instructs the other camera operators to collaborate with his approach. In the end, he winds up with the footage he and the director have agreed upon and hope to grab. All of this is critical to the impact the story will have on the audience who's watching the final product. Now, while you might not know his name, I know you know his work. Julio was the DP on such movies as Wedding Crashers, the first 3 Home Alones, Ace Ventura, Pitch Perfect, and many others. He's done 40 films in all. And if anyone is equipped to comment on the impact films have on the human psyche, it's Julio Macat. In addition to some of the blockbuster films I've already mentioned, Julio has also been the head guy behind the camera, shooting music videos and tour events for artists such as Van Halen, Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, Alanis Morissette, Melissa Etheridge, and yes, even Prince. Julio is now going to take us behind the camera and talk to us about his work. He's also going to tell us about his most recent project, Merv, a full-length comedy feature film with Zooey Deschanel and Charlie Cox. Now, it's about a divorced couple who have an issue over the custody of their dog. I can't wait to find out more. So, Julio, for the people outside of the business, entertainment business, what is the role of a director of photography?
Director of photography, there's a same word for it, which is cinematographer.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is we're in charge of the image of a film. Along with the director's guidance, we sort of become a therapist for the director to talk to them and see what emotion they're trying to put on the screen. And then we use our craft in order to create that mood. And our craft involves composition of the camera, the movement of the camera, which, you know, all has something to do with feeling, and also creating the lighting and the mood. That's most important of all. Is if you go into a blank room that's usually a dark box, and then you create the sense of a happy day, a gloomy day, whatever is right for the story. We create that mood. So we do that photography. I have a camera department that involves camera operators. We usually have 2 cameras. And then you have camera assistants, which are the technical people running the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And having everything in focus is a really important issue, because if it's out of focus, it's no good.
Yeah.
And all the logistics of what it takes to record the data, how you get it to the lab, which is now not really a lab, it's a digital lab.
Right.
And so that's what a director of photography does. That makes sense to you?
Oh, absolutely. And it's a key position. In high school, I took an appreciation of film class where you go through Psycho, you go through Citizen Kane and all those things. And at that time, you know, now 45 years ago, I learned that the down angle means something and the up angle puts the person in a position of prominence and sort of simple things like that. But
yeah, definitely. Or loneliness, right? If you're looking up at a little kid sitting at the end of the bed, that could be a lonely moment too. So yeah, you have ways of expressing what the director is trying to achieve.
And as a cinematographer, do you tend to work with the same directors over and over again. Once you get in a groove with working with them, do you have the opportunity to continue working with them?
I have, yeah. In the past, I've done 3 movies with Adam Shankman. We did The Wedding Planner, a movie called A Walk to Remember, and then Bringing Down the House. So you get in a groove, and he was a first-time director when we started.
Yeah.
Now, I've done a lot of films with first-time directors, 17 of them.
Wow.
And I really enjoy it because I enjoy offering, and explaining and not having a director be intimidated by the camera and all the lenses. We have maybe 12, 13 lenses, and each one of them is worth about $30,000. And and we just utilize the lens to help tell the story that they want to tell.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tricky there because you have to check your ego and make sure that the director is still making the movie that they want to make.
Right.
So presenting options and letting the director choose is a good way to go.
And so it sounds like a lot of your work happens before you even get to the set, because you've got to figure out where these cameras are going to go, how they're going to move, all that before you ever get there when you have actors on set.
Absolutely. Well, you have a plan, but the interesting part of what we do is that until the actors get on the set and work it out to do what they're going to do, and they're in sync with the director, and sometimes it takes a little time to get there. It's hard to come in with preconceived ideas, and then the blocking of what the actors want to do is different. So you have to leave yourself open to a certain extent, and you have to really keep in mind what's important in the scene, and what from preparing with the director, what's important to them. I often like to ask the question, if I know we have a plan of 15 different shots for the scene, but if the gun was against your head and if you had to shoot the scene in one shot and one shot only, what would it be?
Right.
Which makes people think about what's important in the scene. And it also usually turns into be sort of the master shot of the scene. And then from there, you do coverage so you can intercut between takes.
Wow. So honestly, it sounds like at this point in your career, and for a long time, you've been a trusted advisor to all of the staff, a wise and experienced person who can then share that with the various people working on a film.
Exactly, and you're seen as director of photography. You're seen as the leader of the below the line crew, which is my department, camera department, but also I have a lighting department of about 10 people, grip department, which is like the movie carpenters that put the camera wherever I want. Also the art department, because you can't just film furniture. You have to. It has to look right. It can't have the tags from the rental house on it.
Right.
So in a way, you kind of feel like a person who is listened to, hopefully looked up to, because I treat the crew with a lot of respect and kindness, and that those are the things that makes the crew want to work hard for you. And I'm very picky about personalities and who I pick on the crew.